Hello, dear friends. Our today's lesson, this will be more a lesson than streaming, is a process that needs to be understood by those people who are interested in this topic. So, today we are going to talk about meditation. Today we will not only talk about meditation, we will talk about how to work correctly in meditation, why it is needed or not needed, what results it gives, what kind of success it gives, or why it doesn't give results for some people. In general, what is meditation? Some scientists, medics in particular, say that it is not important at all. Others, like psychiatrists, psychologists, say that on the contrary, your internal state is very important. Some scientists say, what is meditation? And thought, you can touch it. Others say, how is it impossible? We have already created devices that measure the radiation that comes from your thoughts, emotions, and inner conditions. So let's talk about meditation today. In the second part of our streaming, I will show you how to work correctly in meditation, and of course, we will carry out a meditation session. But now I would like to start my work with this. I see your thoughts. Can we ask questions today? Yes, you can. Ask your questions if they are constructive, serious, and important to other viewers. So, my friends, what is meditation? And what should we do with meditation? Should we do it or not? Is it necessary or not? Important or unimportant? And in general, what is it? So again, we return to your nature. Your nature is such that you have not only your physical body, but you also have vibrational energy states in which your emotions are stored and create your emotional astral body, your thoughts, and your spiritual energies and vibrations that connect you to the higher dimension, higher space. Absolutely all of you have this state. And when you live life here on this planet, take care of your physical body, eat right, observe hygiene, then, of course, this is wonderful, friends, and this must be done. But I want to tell you that this is not enough. Why is this not enough? Because you still have your inner state. These are your thoughts, emotions, these are your beliefs, this is your attitude, this is what you feel inside yourself. In principle, this is what you really are. But having and seeing your physical body in the mirror, for some reason you think that it is your physical body that makes you. But in fact, the opposite is true. Your physical body does exactly what your subtle bodies do. For example, your thoughts immediately create for you not only internal, subtle mental processes, but also physiological changes inside you. And this is proven by science. For example, your emotions also create certain inner states, either destructive or constructive. And many medical scientists have conducted such an experiment. They studied the structure of the cells of people. A person who is depressed and a person who is in a calm, even state. And they came to the conclusion that a lot of cells die in a person in depression. But in a state of harmony, tranquility, a lot of cells are born, cells are filled with pure white light. That is, they become energetically very strong. When you are in a state of calmness, joy, harmony, awareness, this has already been proven by science. But my friends, is there something that can help us and teach us to manage our subtle bodies? And they turn out to be more primary than your physical body. That is, your subtle bodies send impulses to your physiological body, and in principle, you live only thanks to these energy impulses. We can also say this: you, who you really are the energy that is stored in your subtle bodies, in the body of your thoughts, your emotions, and in your spiritual bodies. This is you. This is what lives after death. This is what is born again, incarnates here on this planet. And now, reincarnation is also a very relevant topic that many scientists are working on, especially in USA. And they say it really exists. And many scientists say that yes, there is also life after death. Even at the moment, this is already a provable fact. So, my friends, it is useless to argue with this, and I think in 10 years all people will know and will be convinced that afterlife exists, and you are not a physical body, but precisely those emotions, those thoughts, that memory, that energy that you are. But how can we learn to help ourselves, to help those subtle structures of yours that you really are? So meditation is the help in this. The Christian Church forbids meditation, but that is its lot. But they talk about prayer. Yes, prayer can, let's say, be brought closer to meditation. It can also be attributed to meditation. It's just that prayer is different for people, like meditation as well. Meditation is a more accurate work with your state, with yourself, and not only with yourself. Meditation is so multifaceted, so ubiquitous, and has a huge number of possibilities that thanks to meditation you can completely control your life process. Try it, my friends. Check out all my advice, recommendations, everything that we are talking about in your life, in your experience. Not believing is the easiest thing. Not to believe means unwillingness to work, but to believe means you need to take it and do it, which means you need to make efforts. So try to check my words. And let's get back to meditation. Meditation is really that practice, that mechanism, that state which helps you organize, calm down, renew, restore your subtle bodies. In principle, restore yourself, because you are the subtle bodies that live the process of immortal life. Of course, if you reveal this process in yourself. Telling you about meditation, I can tell you that there are several processes, several states, which create the process of your reality. We will ask Sergei Arkadyevich not to squeak with what he has in his hands. Thank you. So, my friends, I'll go back to our topic again. When you work in meditation, you can actually direct this process to different levels. But what devices and states do you need to learn to control? And you really need them. My friends, it is very easy for a person who has developed visualization to work in meditation, because visualization is an integral process of meditative work. Many people say, "Excuse me, please, our visualization is not developed, and it is difficult for us to imagine white light, it is difficult for us to imagine our subtle body, but it is much easier for us to imagine our work when we are from the outside and carry out our meditative work looking at our body from the side." This is correct as well. It is allowed, it is possible. Even if your visualization is poorly developed, visualization means imagination, the creation of a mental image. So if it is difficult for you, it's not a problem, absolutely. To visualize, you just need to know that what you imagine is working as you imagine. That is to have this conviction. The very conviction creates the process of your inner state. And over time, when you work out the techniques, practices for developing the centers of your brain and activate your brain functions, you will get visualization. After all, if a person does not have it, this indicates that certain parts of the brain are inactive, not involved. That is, they need to be activated. And this can be done with energy impulses because your brain works on energy impulses. The brain needs energy. Why does a person use up a lot of energy in mental activity? Because the brain, this is already recognized, absorbs energy most of all. Of course, the brain sends this energy to your cells, but it also expends a lot of it itself. Therefore, you need to work with the functions of the brain. There are practices. I teach people these practices in courses. They are very serious, they are not simple, they are even difficult, I would even say so, but they are very effective. All these practices take place under my guidance and my attunement, as they are high frequency, high energy. When working with the centers of the brain, you need someone to accompany and conduct this work. That is, to attune the brain of another person in this practice, in this work. So you need someone to help. And I do this, but I do it only in courses. In such broadcasts I cannot give such serious practice, since absolutely different people are watching us. And this should only be given into the hands of conscious, developed people, purposeful people. But I will still return to meditation and practical work. When you work in meditation, the following states are needed. The first is complete relaxation. In order for meditation to work correctly with you and give a good result inside you, you need to relax your physical body as much as possible. The muscles of your entire body, absolutely everything. The second step is to let go of all thoughts. What does it mean to let go? Detach from all thoughts, detach from all problems and difficulties and troubles which you may have at this moment. This must be done by an effort of will, if only because it is necessary. The next step is to set the goal of your meditation. What do you want from this meditation? What are your goals? For example, you want to put things in order within yourself, and we will do this with you just today. Why exactly this? Because this is the basis of life, my friends. How you feel inside, what you believe in, what you are convinced of, how you feel this world inside yourself, so you will live not better and not worse, exactly how you feel inside. This is the foundation of your life. And you don't even have to check these words. It was, it is, it will be forever. That is, your inner world, your inner state reflects the world around you. This is a fact, my friends. It is a fact. Therefore, putting things in order within yourself is in principle the basis of life. This is the foundation of your success. This is the basis of your prosperity. This is the basis of your health, the work of your organs. In general, this is all about your inner state, because it is with it that life begins. How we feel, how we think, so we live. No wonder there is such a proverb. So, my friends, once again, returning to meditation, you must always remember that while working in meditation, you are not working with the physical body, not with the physical organism. If you think that you can combine meditative and physical activity, perhaps you can, but this most likely will not give the desired result. Why? I'll explain. Because everything that happens on the emotional, mental level, in your thoughts and emotions, is automatically reflected in your physical body. You know? Therefore, thinking about the physical body is simply wasting yourself, wasting your energy on physiology. It will be reflected anyway. Change yourself inside, and the changed process of your physiology will happen by itself, you understand? It is inalienable. While you live in a physical body, everything that happens to you internally, emotionally and mentally is reflected exactly on your affairs, on your health, on your success, prosperity, and in general on building your reality. Therefore, it is very important before you sit down in meditation also to set a goal for yourself, why you are doing this and what you want. And first of all, the task of all conscious people is to manage their emotions. Do not make very bright flashes when you jump to the ceiling for joy or despondency, fall and bang your head on the floor. Don't do this, my friends. You should always be calm, and you should always understand that everything is necessary for something, as well as the process of destruction and the process of creation. We need to draw the right conclusion, correctly understand the situation, rethink it, and of course keep calm internally. Only in this case any difficult situation is resolved quickly. You see, it is again about your inner state. This is really the foundation, especially during this quantum transition, when time flies, when events fly, when you did not have time to think, but it immediately happened the next day. It's just a paradox. This was not the case before, and I am not the only one talking about this. Probably the whole world can testify to this. My friends, when you are working in meditation, what does it mean not to identify yourself with your physical body? It means just don't waste energy on your physical condition. And you know, I have noticed from many years of practical work with people, and I work with them in meditations, I see that newcomers who come, it is very difficult for them to relax at first. It is very difficult for them to let go of thoughts. It is very difficult for them to concentrate on something, and they really need my help. And of course, they get this help and get immediate results thanks to this help. But I really want them to learn to control their inner state and manage their reality, that is, to be independent. And we are striving for this, and we are moving towards this. And you know, people who complete the second stage, the third stage, are people who can already do it. Although sometimes out of habit they also turn to me for help, energy help. But such is the human, and there is nothing you can do about it. My friends, so returning to the goals of meditation and the state of meditation, it is very important to always know what you want. It is very important to always be in an even state. It is very important to always be aware of yourself in this world and the world around you. And it is very important to treat this world correctly. It is very important to learn to see only the good in people Believe me, every person has something good. Everyone has it. Any criminal, any murderer, everyone has a good thing. And try to see it. When you see it, you discover it in a person. It comes out, his inner state of goodness, which he hides there. And a person can change both his life and his reality, and it will be good for you and the whole world. So get back to meditation again. Let's talk about what goals we can set for meditation besides your inner state. In addition to the internal state, you can set a goal to manage your health. And there are practices, very strong practices for working with your genetics, with DNA, RNA. There are practices that, as we said today, control the centers of the brain, develop the centers of the brain, discover superpowers, super abilities, clairvoyance, foresight, intuition. And your brain is also responsible for this, and all this can be achieved through meditative work and then training already in society, living with people. Also in meditations, you can form future events, future reality. I can say from my experience, from the example of my students, very often, many people, when I come to their city or meet with them after a few years, or they study for a period of time, maybe even for a long time, work, study, and then they tell me their examples. They say, I found my notebook from the first stage. You gave us the task to describe our reality, which we want to create in practice, formation of future events. And now 2 years have passed, I opened this notebook and I see that everything that was written there, everything has already happened in my life. Can you imagine? Of course I can. I not only imagine, I'm convinced that it cannot be otherwise. But many people doubt it. They doubt that they will succeed. But the very doubt hinders you. It spoils your life. It spoils your reality. My friends, well, you do it for yourself. For yourself. You yourself form these realities. You yourself choose it. Well, at least for yourself, certainly you want the best for yourself. Believe that everything will be as you have chosen. Remove doubts. You will say, but I remember how it was with me last time. When I planned everything, I also shared it with my friend on the street, but it all turned out exactly the opposite. Sometimes it happens. Do you know why this happens? Apparently, you changed your dream internally when you told about it. You can talk about it, and then at the end you get such an inner state as inner fear. So I told him, and maybe it won't come true now. Yes, it will not come true. It will be so already. Why? Your last plan always happens. Your last choice always comes faster. And fears happen faster. Also, another person may interfere with your reality. For example, you share with someone your plans, your achievements, and the person subconsciously envies you. Subconsciously does not want you to succeed. That is, it also affects the events of your life. And if you are weak energetically, then of course it is easy to influence and impact you. And if, for example, you have completed at least the first stage in our Personality Development Center, then this does not threaten you. You are completely energetically stable and protected, and you can completely control your reality. So you are no longer threatened. We can say that it is already impossible to jinx you. What does jinx mean? It is no longer possible to influence and act on you in a state of destruction. If you follow all my recommendations correctly. If you do not fulfill them, then you return to the same place where you were, and this is understandable. So, my friends, about meditation. Write your questions now. What was not clear to you from what I told you today? And while you are writing your questions, maybe they have already been written at the moment, I want to focus my attention even more on how we will work with you today. First, you learn to completely relax. And this is a very important aspect to work in meditation. Then you will learn how to visualize correctly, and I will tell you how to do it. Then you will create a certain inner state. You will remember the happiest moments of your life. And being internally inside yourself, feeling the energy of yourself, your nature, energy is also your nature. You will internally feel and experience this happiest moment inside yourself. You can remember or you can imagine a new state of happiness when you are a perfectly healthy person, when you have settled all your difficulties and troubles, when you are in a state of strength, health, awareness, aspiration, pleasure, calmness, joy, and fulfillment. You are so overwhelmed with all of this that you are ready and do it and give it all to the whole world. And you realize that the more you give an impulse of your energy, the more it returns to you. And you are in integrity with the world and, of course, with yourself. These are, my good ones, the state we need, which completely restores you. So let's start with the questions. Good evening. Our first question is traditionally from Victor from Dnipro. Good evening, Natalia Vladimirovna. The question is it possible for a person to constantly be in a meditative state, in society, in everyday life? Or is it a form of an altered state and we cannot be in it constantly? And the second question, is there any pattern in meditation? Strict rules or some kind of framework? Or is it important to achieve the state itself, the one to which it leads? Thank you. I can tell you, we talked a little about the rules today. Well, I always live in the state of meditation. And I also teach my disciples to always live in a state of meditation. To be in a state of meditation means to be in a conscious state, always aware of what you think, what you feel, how you are inside. You are not like controlling it, no. This is not even control. It is already a habit of a new state of calmness, awareness, acceptance, understanding. For example, you understand that people are acting in a certain way and the world is illusory now. People have created this illusion and live in it, but there is also not an illusory world, right? There is something that was created by the Creator himself. To be aware of this means to be in meditation, always be calm, always be in oneself, not to be connected to gossip, to some kind of destructive conversations, especially in society, on a tram, in a store, on the street, it does not matter. It means not to connect, but to be always in yourself, in an even calm state. My friends, this is so nice. It's so wonderful. Immediately you feel the release of the greatest power within you. It seems to you that all this, the whole world is you. Not that illusion of this world, but his spiritual, creative reality, the reality on which a huge number of intelligent beings work so that it is manifested in this world. For all this to be, to exist, someone is working on it, you know? Then you feel it. You feel the connection with all this, the connection with the whole outer space, and of course with this energy. And of course, when you are in this sublime, calm, harmonious, even state, well, try it. Just try it, and you will see how wonderful it is. It's just your ego that constantly switches your ears to hear one thing, then another, then says there, then create your own opinion, create your impression, etc. But detach the illusion and identify with the actual reality of this world, because it really exists. Yes, there is an illusory state of the world and life which is created by people in an unconscious state, but there is also a reality that spiritual personalities have created. It also exists. After all, you cannot say that there are no atoms, there are no molecules, there are no waves that make up all this, there are no cells that make up your organs. You cannot say this, because it is. It exists, and this is reality, the life that breathes in you, that you are. And when you are in this state of peace, joy, unity, it is so wonderful, my friends. Right now I am talking with you, and I am in unity with all of you, but not in the illusion in which many of you may believe in. No, I do not need it. I am in unity with you, with the good that you have, with the love that you are. Do you understand? I am one with this. I am pleased to be with this. You can't imagine how I feel at the moment. At the moment, there is simply an impulse, a strong impulse, which itself is directed towards you, to all those people who are watching me now. After all, when you turned on this program, sat in front on the screen, you all concentrated your attention on me, on what I will tell you today and what I will teach you today. And this very action of yours has already tuned you into me. That is, you have come to learn, help yourself and your loved ones. You all want to help. This is how you connected to my energy. Your very desire at the quantum level connected to me through the vibrations of quantum particles. You connected to me. And everything that I feel now, you also feel it. That is, my energy is transmitted to you through waves, through vibrations, and your inner state changes. And you always notice, friends, in what state you sit down at the beginning of our streaming, and what state after our work. Sometimes you write your reviews, share your impressions of what you feel. You can feel these changes, and that's normal. If it were different, and it would not be, then it would not be normal. So, in general, my friends, always try to be aware, in a state of meditation. But, Victor, I want to tell you one more thing. I understand that you know all this, and you are asking these questions first of all not for yourself. You know all this very well. You care about those people who are listening to the streaming now. You ask exactly those questions that are interesting to these people, and you do it disinterestedly, with the sole purpose of helping these people in their development. I know it. Therefore, my friends, now I would also like to emphasize that there are different meditative processes. There are processes where you are in a state of altered consciousness, well, let's say, doing spiritual development, even exploring other worlds. You can even visit other planets. Yes, there are no fairy tales, friends. This is the case. This is true, but for this you need to develop consciousness by at least 40%. Now the consciousness of people work by 7-8%. The consciousness of geniuses is expanded by 10%, unfortunately. Therefore, you need to develop in yourself, you improve your life and yourself and the world around you. Thank you. The next question, Lev Yegorov asks, please tell me why in the church they say that meditation is wasted energy. Why does the church say it is a sin? Yes, friends, these people really say so. Well, what can I tell you? You have to ask them why they say that, who told them that. After all, Jesus Christ, in whom they seem to believe, also worked in prayer and meditation. His morning began with exercises, water procedures, prayer, meditation, communication with the spiritual hierarchy, with divine spiritual beings. This was the beginning of his morning every day, you know. Why then, when Jesus did this, a human should not do this? This should be asked them. They need to be asked this question, unfortunately. Thank you. The next question, Natalia from Vinnytsia asks, is it possible to turn to the Creator in meditation, for example in sublimation, or is it better to do it during prayer? You can do this in both ways, but in meditation everything goes in a direct connection, so to speak. So look, when you sit down in meditation, disconnecting your physical body, which you are not, which one day you will leave, you connect to Him through energy meditative impulses, working in subtle bodies. In principle, meditation is the work of your subtle bodies. And the Creator is this subtle energy, this is spirit, this is energy, this is, let's say, an unmanifested state, which due to evolution becomes manifested due to one more power of the Supreme Mother Spirit. This is how all universes, all planets and so on are created. So when you are in meditation, you pour out waves through a direct channel, and if you have also completed the second stage, there is given you the strongest practice on the second stage, communication with outer space. This is a connection with the greatest force, with the most powerful energy in the cosmos. Such a mechanism is given there, a very strong mechanism. Therefore, I have been preparing people for this work for a long time, I really do. Not all people can get to the second stage. This is a serious process of work. Yes, my friends. So, of course, when you do it in meditation, it is much stronger and more effective. But prayer is also good. In general, what is prayer? This is your conversation with God, you see? Yes, even when you just think about Him, about this higher mind, about the higher power that created everything, atoms and molecules and particles, everything of which everything consists, this is the Creator, you know? This is the energy and strength. There is just a lot of incomprehensible information, undeveloped information that comes from the past centuries, but it was primitive, like the mind, like human himself. 2,000-3,000 years ago, people were more primitive. Look 1,000 years ago, how did people live? Look 500 years ago, look how a man lived. I think a spiritually developed person always looks ahead, and he lives not in the past, but in the future. Thank you. The next question, Natalia from Odessa asks,
Наталья из Одессы спрашивает.
please tell me, if the level of aggression increases after meditation, what does this mean and what to do about it? My dear Odessa, how much I think about you now, how much I think about your inner state now. I know everything, I feel everything, I understand everything. Yes, my friends, I understand. And why does this happen when you are in meditation, but live in meditation does not get the necessary proper state? It means that you did something wrong. Somewhere you made some mistake. What mistakes can there be? You could not relax, were confused by thoughts, that is, the ego climbed into your head. Why now I will carry out this work in Odessa? I will carry out a large-scale work on working with the ego. It is it that hinders, it is it that interferes with your mind, it is it that imposes certain thoughts, it is it that makes you think about what you don't need to think about, and it does it for one single purpose, so that you are aggressive and destructive and selfish. Then it feeds on your energy. I think that I will come very soon. There is already a schedule. We will talk about it at the end of our today's work. My friends, I will work and will try to do everything to save your souls and alleviate all your conditions. I know how hard it is for you, I know how difficult it is for you, but we will cope. Believe me, we will cope, and everything will work out for us. The next question is also from Odessa, from Valentina. Not quite on the topic, but I like the question. Please tell me, is it possible to practice praise as a means of revealing good qualities in conflicted people who live in low vibrations? Our Odessa intellectual, my dear intellectual, of course you can. You know, all methods are fine for good, all methods. Therefore, just treat praise as the kind word that everyone wants. But if you are being praised, try not to live by it, not to rise above someone. Think, well, they said okay, but this is not so much my merit as that energy, that force, that creator who lives in me. We accept it well, we will work more. It means take it smoothly, calmly. But if you say someone, then say more compliments. This is what I told you today. Try to see the good in the person and emphasize this good. Open it like a jar, open the lid and let this goodness out. Tell the person, you are kind. Yes, maybe now you are angry and offended, but there is also good in you that you hide. You are just afraid of something now, and you are angry. Don't be angry, my dear, everything will be fine. If I offended you, please forgive me. But we are all imperfect, everything will be fine. When you need help, I will help you. I will help you with everything I have, and I will not regret anything for this. Tell me, if only it were like that, any person would melt. Try, my friends, to act with love, not with aggression, but with love. And it is love that helps people to open up and reveal the good that is in them. Thank you. The next question, Laima from Sweden asks, can the ego interfere with a person's meditation and visualization? Of course, Laima, definitely. Of course, not only can, but it does that all the time. Moreover, many people identify with it. They think that their insidious thoughts are them, that their anger is also them. But in fact, it's not them, but these are the entities that eat a person and destroy both inside and outside. We will carry out work. We have already done one such work in Vinnytsia. It was wonderful work, very strong, a really powerful work, so strong that even I did not expect. But the results were great. And now I plan to carry out this work in other cities, and the schedule is already hanging on the site. Look and come. We will work. Thank you. The next
Следующий
question.
вопрос.
Bogdan from Kazatin asks,
Богдан из Казатина
how to achieve
спрашивает, как
samadhi,
достичь
and what is this in your
самадхи, и что
understanding?
это в вашем понимании? Я
Did I
правильно
read that
слышал?
correctly? Yes, it called samadhi. How to achieve samadhi? You need to work on yourself. That is exactly what needs to be done, all that we are talking about today. But not even just that. You need to reveal your spirit, energy. You need to reveal your capabilities, to reveal yourself. In order to attain samadhi, this divine state, you must become like that yourself. And for this, many people need a lot of lives. Or maybe they have already lived these lives and just now have incarnated in order to achieve this unity with the Creator Himself. What do you need? This is a very, very long process. And I teach this to my students, not all, only those who are ready. And I prepare people for this, and for more than 1 year. And maybe some will need more than one life. It is a unity that gives us joy and peace. The state that I told you about today, oneness with everything and everyone, joy, peace, and fullness. This is such a state. And the task of each person who evolves on this planet, each human, is to live in this state. Thank you. You probably haven't heard my answer in full, Sergei Arkadyevich. It's all right? Fine. He has a lot of buttons. You will forgive him. You are kind, aren't you? We are doing goodness. My friends, let's have one more question and we will work in practice, okay? One more question, the most important, and we will work in practice. Well, then I will probably combine two questions. Lena from Vyatsky Polyane asks if it is possible to carry out meditations with children. And Lea Figorov asks, please tell me, is it possible to help people with low vibrations through meditation and bring love into their lives? And to the first and second questions I say yes, positively. It is not only possible, but also necessary, my friends. When you work on yourself, reach high vibrations, you radiate light by yourself. That is, a wave of light comes from you, and light is life. And when you send this light, this wave to other people, for example, you remembered someone came into your head, and immediately your energy, the light of your soul is directed to this person. This person, even at this moment, can remember you and can call you at this moment. Yes, my friends, this is how quantum energy transfer occurs. It does not matter at what distance a person is. Yes, energy is transmitted in quanta instantly. You just thought, instantly the energy that you thought about this person is reproduced in him. And it creates, by the way, states of love, joy, and tranquility. If you take offense at someone, curse, then you destroy other people. It is said someone jinxed me, someone did it to me. It's just that a lot of people think badly of you and they influence and impact you with their energy. Energy is omnipresent. energy, this world, everything is energy. Friends, it is true. Study this issue. Well, let's move on to practice. I really want you all to reach this beautiful state, which you call samadhi. I really want you to achieve a state of oneness with the entire cosmic space. It is in this state that you will feel the highest vibrations. Take a comfortable position, listen to everything that I am going to tell you, and let's get started. If someone has any fear in relation to me or my work, turn off the internet and go mind your business. If someone has some kind of mistrust or some kind of condemnation, you also often write about this on the internet. Also turn off the internet. Don't waste electricity, my dear friends. Go mind your own business. Now my work will be carried out only for those people, and my energy will come only to those people, and only those people will feel it now who can enter into resonance with me. It means who wants this energy, who believes in this energy, who is waiting for this energy, who asks me for this energy. I can help these people. It is impossible to help these people if they do not have such a request. Why? Because it's not possible to enter into resonance with them. If they have very low vibrations and mine are high, then we just fly by, you know. It is necessary that your souls and hearts open up, and I will do everything to fill you. And one note more, before I forget. Dear friends, I really want to ask you, working with you now, I will give my energy, fill you, teach you, and this is work. And this is my gift to you. And I really want you to give your gift to someone tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, in the near future, and give someone the gift of life. It does not matter what, a kind word, forgive someone, help someone, no matter how, as people will need. And do it also as a gift, as I am doing for you today. Did you agree? Otherwise, you will be my debtors, and I don't need debtors. No need, my friends. There is an exchange of energy equivalent. Interchange. If I give you my energy, then you have also received, having filled yourself with this energy, you must share this energy with someone else. It is right. So, my dears, we are in a comfortable position, and we will work on our inner state. So, we turn on the music. Relax, get ready. Relax. Now everything will work out. Let's answer one more question. Okay. But I can hear myself well here. Well, let's have one more question. A question from Kharkov appeared. Natalia Vladimirovna,
из Харькова.
please
Скажите,
tell us,
пожалуйста,
can a
может ли
child
у
at
вас
2.5
голос
years of
создавать свое
age
эго?
create his own
Говорит он,
ego?
я и
He
эго.
says, there is me and the ego. Yes, he can, of course he can. He is already born with the ego. He brings it from his past life, past incarnations, his past reality. He was already born with this state. But when he says I and the ego, it's said that he also realizes his self as not egoistic. Ego also exists. The child understands that the ego is present, but there is also his self. That is self and the ego. These are two states. In fact, this is the case. He has both. And this is not only at 2 years old. It all starts from the cradle. One child is calm, everything suits him, but to another everything is not so, everything is not suitable, everything is not pleasant. Either you should carry it on your hands, then run with it, then shake it, and with another baby you fed it and it sleeps peacefully. Here are the manifested states of the ego. You know, my friends, these egoistic structures are always inside the subtle bodies of a person. In principle, the astral body is a body of low vibration and consists of these structures. My friends, while Sergei Arkadьевич is restoring the music, I want to share with you one more thing. I have a very good, kind person in Moscow. A very good person who once came to me for a consultation in Odessa. His name is Alexei, and now I want to turn to Alexei. Lёsha, I really want you to become strong internally, strong and convinced, and I can say that everything will work out in your life. Remember my words today. Our inner state determines our external events and creates our reality for us, creates strength, conviction, confidence within yourself, and I know for sure that you will succeed. Do you know why I am so convinced? Because you are a very kind person, a very kind person. You are a person who can do a lot, but you need to remove self-doubt and introduce that state of goodness into this world, and you will see, you will succeed. Believe in yourself, believe that you will succeed, and don't be afraid. And even if these are mistakes in your life, mistakes are also your victories. Having mistakes, we create the correct reality with you. I believe you will do your best. Yes, you are not my student yet, but this is for now, and as it is said, the ways of the Lord are inscrutable. Everything happens in life, or maybe it is just so that you still begin the process of spiritual growth, development, becoming, accomplishment, and evolution. I wish you success. So, Sergei Arkadьевич is looking for music. Yes, he puts his hand on his heart, but says, not yet. Well, my friends, we can do this work with you without music. The impulse of energy that comes from me does not need music for this. Music just would help you relax. But we can do it without music. We wait a couple more minutes, a few more minutes, And now I want to give such a briefing on our work. In order for the work to go right, relax, sit down relaxed. Concentrate all your attention on your physical body, on your hands, on your feet. Feel now the energy of your head, the energy of your neck, shoulders, arms, legs, the whole body. How can we feel the energy? It's such impulses, vibrations, like the breath of your body, impulses and vibrations. Barely caught impulses and vibrations. Feel it. Listen to yourself. Listen to your inner state. Dive into yourself. Give up everything. Now there is just you and me. And we are starting this effective work with you. Your goal is to restore yourself, restore your energy, restore your consciousness and psycho-emotional state, which is the norm of life. It will give you good sleep, peace of mind, and joy in your soul. It will also restore your health. You are relaxed, inner peace. Let's get to work. We start to work. Listen to yourself. Feel the vibrations of your subtle body. And now, with the thought, I will strengthen your vibrations, the vibrations of your subtle bodies. Now I will transfer my energy to you, and your subtle bodies will begin to vibrate faster and stronger. I am doing this right now. Feel. Primary attunement takes place. Now open your hands, palms up. This is necessary so that the energy that I am sending to you passes through the points of the hands. Detach from everything now. You listen to my voice, you feel my energy, you are filled yourself. Through me, through the impulses of my energy bodies, a strong vibration flows, which enters into resonance with you and fills you. You are now filled with calmness and serenity. If you want to close your eyes now, do it. When you close your eyes, inner peace occurs. Now mentally detach everything, absolutely everything, from all thoughts. If any thoughts are taking root in your head right now, drive them away. You don't think them. You are not thoughts. You are pure energy. No thoughts. Now take away thoughts of solving your problems. I feel them. I feel that many of you sat down at the screen with the sole purpose of watching this streaming and solving your problems. Take this thought away, and the problems will be solved. Take it away. This is self-interest. Take it away. Problems are given to you for your awareness, understanding, and your development. Take it away. Love your problems, accept them. For now, forget about them. Listen only to yourself, only to your energy, only to your inner state. I'm sending you an impulse of energy again. Accept. Your nervous system and psyche are restored. Your internal organs are restored. Information about your cells is restored. Your DNA and RNA are restored. Your vibration state is restored. You are at peace. Plunge into yourself, into yourself, into your nature, into the purest state of energy. This is you, deeper and deeper. Feel peace, acceptance now. There are no judgments. You like everything. You agree with everything. You agree with everything. Everything suits you. You enjoy life. You are filled with life. You are life itself. Being in an even calm state, remember or create right now the happiest state, the state of happiness. Everything was solved, everything worked out, everything happened. You are happy, you are fulfilled, and inside you there is such peace, such joy, such inner silence that you don't even want to think about anything, only to be in this state of peace, joy, and harmony. Inner silence and fullness create for you an inner state of peace and purity. Stay in this state. Do you hear music? It pacifies you. Now think about yourself, who you really are. Think about that inner state, about that silence that you are. Now imagine a sphere of light above your head, 10 to 15 centimeters in diameter, 10 centimeters from the crown of your head. It spins forward and fills you with bright, white, clear light. This is the energy of life, turning on visualization. Imagine that every cell is filled with this energy. Every organ, every bone of yours is filled with light. This light pours out. You are on fire. You breathe light. Everything in you has become light. Inner peace, silence, fullness, inner bliss. There is you, me, and the Creator. The entire cosmos is full of energy, which is poured out in full, and this energy is white light. It enters your subtle bodies, and your subtle bodies become white from white light. Purity. I am the light. We are completing our work. Be in an even and calm state now, in a state of joy, fulfillment, detachment, in a state of yourself. You feel comfortable and calm. Energy flows in every cell. This energy fills you, renews, rejuvenates, and restores you. So, my friends, it was a very simple, lightweight mechanism. Probably it can be easier. You understand that serious mechanism should be given to trained people. And this practice was my message of energy, the message of my vibrations, my inner state to help you. You can do this work every day, remembering our work today. Imagine the sphere above your head. It is filled with light, and its movement, rotating forward, fills your subtle bodies. To the physical body, as we spoke with you today, we are not attached. We feel only our subtle bodies. So, my friends, our today's streaming has come to an end. Once again, I would like to talk about the fact that we are now preparing for the new season, and that on the 7th, our work will begin in Kharkov. We are preparing new programs. These new programs are already ready. And for Odessa, not only with Kharkov, Kharkov will be the first, then Odessa, then Rivne, then Vinnytsia. And if I manage, I'll come to the Dnipro. But I don't promise Dnipro yet. If we get it, we will. If it will not work, come to us, where you are always expected. And I'm always waiting for you with joy. My dear friends, in this new training season, we will try to maximize not only knowledge, but also raise your vibration. Since time has changed, it has changed very seriously. It has accelerated even more. The vibrations on the planet have become even stronger. The processes of creation are even stronger. Of course, Odessa will just need to be rehabilitated, because many people have not seen me for a long time. And in principle, I have not spent my work there for a year, and I see how you feel without me, how bad you feel without me. It is hard and difficult. Therefore, I am getting ready to come to you and carry out very serious work on rehabilitation and on working with that ego that torments you so much. Of course, this job is not easy for me, of course. For you, this will be work, let's say, work on restoration. And the work itself will fall on my shoulders, on my potential. And I will need to work with you in such a way as to raise you to the level of those vibrations that you once reached. This is possible, my friends. To do this, you need to follow all my recommendations, all my advice, and complete all my tasks that will be assigned to you. There is already a schedule. Go to the site. There is a schedule. We send messages to everyone. We will send messages to Odessa as well. I will be glad to see you. My friends, work in Vinnytsia will be extended as always. Over time, we will update this work in Odessa, but in Vinnytsia it will be more extensive work. This will be courses of stages. We are planning the fourth level and the second and the third stage. Well, my friends, we will look at my capabilities. Well, Sergei Arkadyevich tells me that the second level is not working with us yet, so it means that it is necessary for now. So, my friends, at the end of our today's streaming, I would like to express my gratitude to those people who help us in our work. Thank you, friends, for being one with us, for doing this great, noble work. Each of you makes your contribution. Thanks to those people who share their opinions, their impressions of this work. This is not for me. I do not need praise. This is necessary for those people who are still in doubt, who have been deceived more than once. You do it all for them. And by doing this for them, you are doing it for the whole earth. Therefore, once again, my gratitude to those hard workers, those aunts who think of you and are my helpers. Thank you. I wish you a good evening, a good life, pleasant meetings, wonderful, magnificent victories, joy to your souls. And now, see you soon. Goodbye, my friends.